Imagine North America, not as it is today, but as a land draped in the vibrant colors of Spanish influence. Picture a continent where the echoes of Spanish guitars fill the air, and the aroma of traditional Spanish cuisine wafts through bustling markets. Not with the red, white and blue, but with the gold and red of Spain. The Spanish flag, a symbol of exploration and conquest, fluttering proudly over vast territories. Think about big cities speaking Spanish, huge farms worked by mixed-race people, and churches stretching across the land. These cities would be centers of culture and commerce, where Spanish architecture and traditions blend seamlessly with the local customs. This isn't the North America we learned about in school. Instead, it's a rich tapestry of Spanish heritage, woven into the very fabric of the continent. Imagine classrooms filled with students learning about the Spanish explorers who charted these lands, and the impact they had on shaping its history. It's a look at what could have happened if Spain, not England, ruled this place. The cultural landscape would be vastly different, with Spanish customs, language and governance influencing every aspect of life. Spanish explorers, hearing stories of golden cities and secret waterways, traveled all over. Driven by the promise of wealth and adventure, they ventured into uncharted territories, mapping out new routes and establishing settlements. They explored the southeast, sailed the Mississippi River, and even reached the Great Plains, changing the land and its people forever. Their journeys left an indelible mark on the landscape, introducing new crops, animals, and technologies that would shape the future of North America. This is that story, a story where Spain ruled North America, a story of exploration, conquest, and cultural fusion that reimagines the history of a continent. Join us as we delve into this fascinating alternate history, where the spirit of Spain reigns supreme. Imagine Spain, rich from the Aztec and Inca gold, looking north. The wealth amassed from these conquests was staggering, filling Spanish coffers and fueling ambitions for further expansion. The Spanish crown, emboldened by their newfound riches, set their sights on new territories, eager to extend their influence and control. Bigger and better expeditions sailed from Veracruz and Havana, building forts and towns along the coast. These expeditions were meticulously planned and well-funded, with the goal of establishing a strong Spanish presence in the New World. The Spanish explorers and settlers faced numerous challenges, from harsh weather conditions to resistance from indigenous populations, but their determination and resilience saw them through. From the Carolinas to California, Spanish flags waved over new towns. These settlements were not just military outposts but thriving communities with churches, schools, and marketplaces. The Spanish influence was evident in the architecture, culture, and daily life of these towns, which served as hubs of trade and governance. Spain moved inland, following big rivers like the Mississippi, Missouri, and Columbia. These rivers served as vital arteries for exploration and transportation, allowing the Spanish to penetrate deep into the continent. The explorers mapped the land, established trade routes, and claimed vast territories for the Spanish crown. Explorers, missionaries, and soldiers, with help from Native Americans, traveled across the land. The interactions between the Spanish and Native Americans were complex, involving alliances, conflicts, and cultural exchanges. The Spanish relied on the knowledge and assistance of Native Americans to navigate the unfamiliar terrain and establish their settlements. They built missions, trying to convert tribes to Christianity and make them follow Spanish rule. These missions were more than religious centers, they were also places of education and cultural assimilation. The missionaries taught the Native Americans European agricultural techniques, crafts, and the Spanish language, aiming to integrate them into the colonial society. Trading posts popped up, sending furs, animal skins, and other goods to the growing coastal cities. These trading posts became bustling centers of commerce where goods were exchanged and information was shared. The fur trade in particular was a lucrative business, attracting traders and adventurers from all over the world. By the 1700s, a Spanish North America, from the Atlantic to the Pacific, was real. The Spanish Empire had established a vast and diverse territory with a network of settlements, missions, and trading posts that stretched across the continent. This period marked the height of Spanish colonial power in North America, leaving a lasting legacy that can still be seen today. In this story, England and France aren't the big players in North America. With Spain so strong, it was hard for others to get a foothold. England, busy with problems at home and in Ireland, couldn't keep up. English explorers tried to build towns on the Atlantic coast, but the Spanish and their Native American allies pushed them back. France too couldn't get ahead, with Spain controlling the fur trade. No England and France in North America? That would have changed everything. Spain did things differently. They believed in strong rulers and the Catholic Church. They wanted to make North America just like Spain. Cities were carefully planned with Spanish laws, with forts, big open squares, fancy government buildings, and beautiful churches. Everything showed Spain's power. Unlike England, which let its colonies do their own thing, Spain kept tight control. A viceroy chosen by the king ruled everything, making sure taxes and resources went back to Spain. The Catholic Church was super important too. Missions meant to convert Native Americans were everywhere. Imagine a mix of Native American traditions, Spanish customs, and even some African influences. Spanish became the official language, used in government, business, and schools. It mixed with Native American words, creating a new way of speaking. The Catholic Church was powerful. Big, beautiful cathedrals went up in cities. Missions spread Christianity to Native Americans, sometimes mixing it with their old beliefs. Art and buildings showed this mix of cultures. When the Spanish arrived, things changed drastically for Native Americans. The Spanish believed their culture was better and tried to force Native Americans to be like them, making them work hard, become Christian, and forget their old ways. Spain wanted the resources of the land and used a system called encomienda. This let Spanish colonists make Native Americans work for them in exchange for protection and religious teaching. But it was often cruel, with harsh work, sickness, and the loss of Native American culture. Native Americans fought back in many ways, from fighting with weapons to quietly keeping their traditions alive. Spain had its own system for race and social class. This system was deeply rooted in the Spanish colonial mindset and was designed to maintain a strict social hierarchy. It was a way to control the diverse populations in their vast empire, ensuring that power remained in the hands of a few. Unlike the English colonies, which mostly saw things as black and white, the Spanish colonies had a more nuanced approach. The English system was relatively straightforward, categorizing people primarily as either free or enslaved, black or white. Spanish America had a more complicated system called the casta system. This system was a complex racial classification system that categorized people based on their racial heritage and skin color. It was a way to manage the diverse and mixed populations that emerged from the interactions between Europeans, Native Americans, and Africans. This system looked at your ancestors, skin color, and social status. It was not just about race but also about lineage and the perceived purity of one's bloodline. The casta system created a detailed hierarchy that placed individuals in specific social categories. At the top were the Peninsulares, Spaniards born in Europe. These individuals were considered the purest and held the highest social status. They were the elite class, enjoying the most privileges and opportunities. They had the best jobs in government, the church, and the army. Peninsulares were often appointed to the most influential positions, ensuring that the Spanish crown maintained control over its colonies. Next were the Criollos, Spaniards born in the Americas. Although they were of pure Spanish descent, their birthplace in the New World placed them below the Peninsulares in the social hierarchy. They could be rich and important, but not as powerful as the Peninsulares. Criollos often became wealthy landowners, merchants, and local officials, but they were always second to the Peninsulares in terms of political power and social prestige. Mestizos, with Spanish and Native American parents, were a big and diverse group. They occupied a middle position in the casta system, reflecting their mixed heritage. Mestizos could achieve a certain level of social mobility, but their opportunities were limited compared to those of pure Spanish descent. This system, while allowing some people to move up, mostly helped Spain stay in control. The casta system reinforced the social order and ensured that the colonial administration could effectively manage the diverse populations. It was a tool of social engineering that maintained the dominance of the Spanish elite and kept the colonial society stratified. As the 1700s ended, people started to get unhappy with Spanish rule. Inspired by new ideas about freedom and self-government, Criollos, who felt left out of power, wanted more control. The American Revolution, even though it was far away, had a big impact. Criollos read forbidden copies of books about freedom and were inspired by the American success. The French Revolution, with its ideas of liberty and equality, made people even more restless. A North America ruled by Spain would have changed the whole world. Spain, already powerful, would have become even stronger. Controlling North America's resources, trees, gold, silver, and good farmland, would have made Spain super rich. A stronger Spain might have stopped England and France from becoming as powerful as they did. Spanish, already spoken in Central and South America, might have become the main language of North America, maybe even as important as English is today.